Hi, I'm Bersercules, the Berserk Herc, and today I'll be reviewing Superman number 142, Story 2, called Superman Meets Al Capone. I'm back in the past, years before Superman came to Earth. I don't dare switch into my action costume. Action costume? You mean your Superman costume? I don't dare switch into my action costume because history has no record of Superman's fighting with Al Capone's gang. But history is full of times where bullets bounced off people's chests? What the fuck? So our story starts off. At the Daily Planet one day, editor Perry White shows reporter Clark Kent a scientific report. That looks like a giant picture. Science! Look, Clark, an archaeologist found a fossil footprint of a new species of dinosaurs that he claims may be bigger than Titano the super ape. It would make a good headline, but... Wow, Perry, you and me have different definitions of what makes a good headline. Is it true? After Titano became a menace, Superman flung him across a time barrier into the prehistoric times. And then he accidentally brought him back with his super wits, and then flung him back in time again. He's the only one who could check on this for us. 'Cause you couldn't estimate Titano's height through calculations, like you are with the dinosaur? What? And why does it even matter who's taller? How is that important or relevant? Do you have money riding on this? Anyway, so then Clark goes out to look for Superman. Do you think they all know Clark is Superman, but don't let on? I mean, you know, do you think they make sure to tell Clark everything, so he'll tell Superman? I mean, why'd Perry make sure to tell Clark all that stuff? He could have been spending the time trying to contact Superman. Seems very convenient. So Clark goes off and, rips open his shirt in an alleyway next to a garbage can. Soup, what's up with you opening your shirt like that? Why not just unbutton it and untuck it before taking it off? Why open it up, exposing your chest and stretching the shirt out while leaving it tucked in? What the fuck? That makes no sense! Silly Superman, super wits are for kids. And are you changing in an alleyway because you want hobos to see you? Are you an exhibitionist? Or a super exhibitionist? Is that why you strike a pose as you change? What the fuck? So, after his overly dramatic clothing change, Superman goes off through time to find footprints left by Titano to use to judge his height. Did Titano not leave footprints in the future? Did no one measure them for posterity? What the fuck? Did Superman give the world super wits? So, arriving in the past, Soup finds and measures one of Titano's footprints, and then Titano appears, and as Superman tries to escape, he is hit by Titano's eye blasts as he goes through the time barrier. Weakened by Titano's blast, Soup finds it hard to fly through time, almost stopping during the Great Chicago Fire in 1871. Wait, he made it through all the millions of years, and all through the centuries, and is having trouble in just the last 90 years or so? What the fuck? That's very convenient! Al Capone, here we come! And more importantly, he risked possible death going back in time to where Titano is, just to get facts for a lame story? Could you imagine if that's what killed him? Damn, Superman's dead, and now that meteorite heading to Earth can't be stopped. We're all gonna die. If only he hadn't gone back in time to get Titano's footprint measurements. Wait, that's what killed him? How is that important? It wasn't. Goodbye, old friend. Goodbye. Fuck super wits. So, as he flies through time, he glimpses other times as he continues to push forward. But eventually he must stop, and he does so in the 1920s. 1925 to be exact. How old-fashioned everything looks compared to 1960. Yeah, because 1960 looks so fucking modern. Not saying 2012 is modern, because as people watch this in 2064, it won't be. Hi, people of 2064! Though to the people of 3994, this will be futuristic. And hey, Clark's got his clothes! So Soup took them with him? Oh right, Superman compacts his Clark Kent clothes down really small and keeps them hidden in a pocket in his cape. No, seriously, that's actually what he does with them. So Clark, instead of hiding from everyone so as not to wreck the timeline, instead wanders the streets and people watches. That shoeshine boy's voice sounds familiar. Holy mackerel, it's Perry White as a young man. I'll take off my glasses and smear some shoe polish across my cheek to alter my appearance. Then Perry of 1960 won't recall having seen an adult Clark Kent when he was young. Otherwise he'd figure out I'm Superman who can travel through time. Seriously? You think he'd remember all that from 40 years ago? What the fuck? Superwits! Hey, Mr. White. Hey, Clark, and how are you today? And my, you look just like a stranger that stood behind me one day as I talked with a newspaper man when I was a kid. My word, Clark, you're Superman! And how is no glasses and shoe polish on your face a disguise? Never mind, that's more of a disguise than you normally use. And the scar also fools another who thinks that Clark is his friend. Hi, Touch. You don't fool me. Who else could you be with that scar but Touch Vincent? Wait, he has to be your friend because they both have scars? That's it? Really? Can only one person have a scar? I have a scar on my forehead. Am I Touch Vincent? What the fuck? How fucking stupid are people in Superman's reality? Holy fuck! This is the dumbest thing anyone's ever done in one of these comics. And these comics feature a man with super wits. So that's saying a lot. So Silky Hale then tells his friend Touch, "These are the lamest nicknames ever, and I'm a guy called Bersercules. Jeepers." Silky and Touch, what the fuck? They sound like erotic nicknames. Do you think Silky wants to spank Touch? Anyway, Silky tells Touch that he can get him a job with Mr. Big. Really? Mr. Big? How erotic is this comic gonna get? What are Silky and Touch gonna do to Mr. Big? Anyway, Silky tells Touch that he can get him a job with Mr. Big, and Clark Touch Kent decides to go with it, thinking he can get a story for young Perry White, who could then use it to get a job with a newspaper man. So, fucking with the past, eh, Soup? So you'll fuck up the timeline to help a friend, but you won't go back and kill Hitler? Super Sig Hal! Presently, Clark meets Mr. Big. I bet he does. Presently, Clark meets Mr. Big, who is, of course, Al Capone. Silky tells Al about Touch's safe-cracking ability, and Al gets Touch to demonstrate, which is an easy task for Clark with his super hearing. Ah, it's open. They'll think the sensitive fingers of Touch Vincent open the combination lock. Door stuck? Safe not opening? Call 1-9000! Touch Vincent. Help me and get Touch Vincent. Help opening it. That's right! Call now and get all your door stuck needs met with Touch Vincent. Door opening ability. And if you call in the next 10 minutes, he'll also open all your hard to open jars. What a great deal! And once Touch succeeds, Al has him do another test to prove his worth about being in the gang. So he's got to steal back a truck of booze that was stolen by a rival gang. Wait. Why are you sending a guy with sensitive hands out to fight and take back a truck? Silliest crime boss ever! Except for those two soup caught dressed as Satan. So Clark accepts the job and flies off as Superman to catch the truck and, scares the shit out of a pilot. Leaping Lena! Look! Is that a flying man? Oh no! It can't be! It must be an illusion! Hi, William Shatner! What's the matter with him? Why should that pilot be so amazed at seeing me? Everyone knows about Superman. Wait, I forgot. This is in the time before I arrived at Earth. Wait, Soup just went back in time 40 years to before he was born and then forgot no one had heard of him? What the fuck? So Soup just forgot he was in the past? How do you forget something like that, Superman? Aren't you constantly around things that look different from your time? Aren't you about to do a job for Al Capone? Isn't your old boss just a young kid who you're trying to secretly help? What the fuck, Superman? Holy super mackerel! You forgot you were in the past before anyone knew who you were! Wow! Your wits really are super! I take back what I said before. This is the dumbest thing that's ever happened in one of these comic books. Why should that pilot be so amazed at seeing me? Everyone knows about Superman. But apparently, not everyone understands how time works. This is in the time before I arrived on Earth as Superbaby, or grew up in Smallville as Superboy. I'm completely unknown to the world of this decade. Yeah, we know, Soup. You don't need to spell it out for all the kids reading this comic. They get it. It's you that doesn't seem to grasp it. So Superman gets Al Capone's truck back for him, and then is sent on another task to shoot and kill some cop, which Clark Touch Kent is able to fake doing, with his X-ray vision melting the bullets as he shoots, and his suction breath sucking away the air from the cop, causing the cop to faint. Never heard of that power before? Suction breath? Wow, it's like they're always making new powers for Soup. Were the writers getting paid by the power instead of the word? I hope for their sake they at least got paid a penny every time they used the word super. They'd be set for life. Super High! I'm one of the super writers of Superman Super Comic. I super retired a super millionaire after super writing 12 super issues of Superman Super Comic. Super 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 Super, 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 super. But after proving himself to Al, they hear a news report about the real Touch Vincent, and, realizing Clark is an imposter, and thinking that he's a federal agent, they shoot him. But Clark dodges the bullets, and the crooks resort to knife throwing. 'Cause if bullets don't work, knives might. Yikes, our knives only crumpled up. That fit isn't even scratched. Huh, these mobsters must be baffled by my invulnerability. Yes, Soup, that's what they just said. We don't need you to retell us that. We, the audience, can remember things well. Or at least better than you. Here in old-time Chicago, they don't even know Superman exists. We know, Soup! Or are you reminding yourself of that fact, so don't forget again? Superwits. So after baffling the crook some more, Clark walks off and gives the scoop to young Perry White by leaving it in his shoeshine stand, and then goes back to the future of 1960. And what story did he get for Perry? Indestructible Man fucks around with Al Capone and his mob? Super Guy super fucks with mobsters? Pilot sees Flying Man? What the fuck? And how'd Perry be able to use that story with no sources to check? For all Perry knows, some crazy hobo wrote a silly story and stuck it in the shoeshine stand. Anyway, so returning to his present, or past, Soup changes back to Clark and goes back to Perry White's office, where Perry talks of how Superman has helped him get lots of stories, and Superman proves Titano larger than Gigantosaur. Holy fuck! Right on! Titano is larger than Gigantosaur! Rock on! You hear that, world? Titano is larger than Gigantosaur! Fuck all the crime and corruption in the world, and fuck all the starving kids out there! It's all okay, cause Titano is larger than Gigantosaur! Yes! Anyway, Perry talks of how Superman has helped him get many stories, like one of a three-headed bird in the center of the earth, and then wonders, as he often has, about who gave him his first scoop. I guess Superman can't, take credit for that one, Perry. I wonder who, was that first untouchable. Want to add more to that sentence there, Superman? And aren't you lying? But does it not count as lying if you add to your sentence? Oh, and why is this comic always stealing other characters' thunder? This story is implying Soup helped Perry get his job, and in another story we find out Soup helped Lois get her first 3 scoops that got her job. Can no one have any success in this comic that wasn't the direct cause of some super-powered nut job? Jeepers! Is this comic called Superman not because it's about him, but because he does everything? What the fuck? Anyway, so that's it. It's now the end. And what if Titano had disproportionately large feet? I can't believe we're all gonna die. That meteorite's gonna destroy the Earth. At least we know Titano is larger than Gigantosaur. True. Hi, I'm Bersercules, the Berserk Herc, and I joke a lot about superwits. But superwits is a serious condition. It causes heroes like Superman to forget they're in the past, or that the metal suit they're wearing will melt if they fly too fast, and makes them constantly need to remind themselves of things through narration. So please, give generously to help solve this epidemic. Please, send me money so I can build a time machine and stop the writers from writing these stories. Remember, superweights, it's no laughing matter.